Finding a gated community here in Spokane can actually be pretty tough. So I want to bring you the top 5 gated communities in the Spokane Valley and Liberty Lake area that I would recommend to you if this is on the top of your list. Let's get right into this video. So more often than not here in Spokane, you're either going to find a gated community that's actually for like a manufactured home park, which maybe some of you are looking for, but I'm sure many of you are not, or it's going to be a 55 plus community. So I'm excited to bring you a list of gated communities in just one subsection of Spokane, of the Spokane areas. We're focusing specifically on the Spokane Valley and Liberty Lake. And this isn't even all of them. This was just ones that there were active listings in that you're more likely to purchase a home in because there's more inventory coming up in those neighborhoods right now. And they're not 55 plus communities except for the very last one because I think it's a cool community. But I know gated communities are much more common in other parts of the country at affordable price points. And it's just not nearly as common here in Spokane. So I wanted to point them out to you because it's not that hard to make a list of all of them so that you know where to look if that's something that's important to you. So the first one I went and visited and felt like I was going to get the cops called on me because I was there because it was so private is Shelley Lake. Shelley Lake is a small lake, small body of water in the Spokane Valley. And we're going to be able to split up this list into kind of two types of gated communities. One where the gate is locked 24/7. You must have an access code to get in there. And then others where the gate is locked from like 8 p.m. till 8 a.m. So they do 12 hours open, 12 hours closed, just to allow for ease of traffic to go through the neighborhood because maybe it's a larger community. There are a lot of cars coming and going through those gates. But Shelley Lake is a small community surrounding this small lake. It's very cute. There's only 248 houses in the entire community. I was able to get a gate code just because I have access to the MLS and could look at houses that were listed for sale in here and find the gate code. But you are not going to be able to drive through this neighborhood without a realtor to get you in. But as you can see in some of this B-roll, I was trying to go look at the lake and I felt very much as if people were watching me and I did not belong there. Even parking your car on the streets in front of somebody's house feels incredibly uncomfortable, which for somebody living in the community is a good thing. It's going to feel very private and very secure there. There's 2 gates on either end of the community, and I just think this is one of the most private ones that I visited out there, and the prices aren't astronomical. There's homes listed anywhere from the mid 600s up to the mid 800s, and there's a wide range of size of home. Like there's 3-bed, 2-bath, modest sized homes, but then there's some really large ones that I drove past through here. The lot sizes are pretty close together, but the houses definitely, some of them are very large and could be very good family homes, 5+ bedrooms if that's what you need. I think the other cool thing about Shelley Lake is that it's close to Central Valley High School, like literally across the street. And Central Valley High School has a massive campus, a lot of green space. And so if you have a dog or you have kids, you want to just let them run and blow off some steam, then you can just walk across the street. There's openings in the gates and you could go play at the high school right there. All right, next up is the Bella Vista neighborhood. And so Bella Vista is just a longer kind of winding road in the back hills off of Sullivan in the Spokane Valley. And most of this neighborhood actually isn't gated. There's just a headstone that says it's the Bella Vista neighborhood. You have to actually drive quite a ways up to find this community that I filmed here, where there's only 21 homes that are actually physically behind a gate. It's still called the Bella Vista neighborhood, just like everything else in the neighborhood, but you get a gate. And it was one of those ones where I just drove up and the gate was open, so I was able to just go in and shoot the video. So this might be another one where it is open during the daytime but closed at night. So you get that extra little sense of privacy, but Bella Vista as a neighborhood is so far removed from the rest of the Spokane Valley, from major roadways, that this entire neighborhood felt very quiet, very safe. You're going to notice when there's kind of a car that's out of the norm. And so overall, even if you're not behind this one little gate that I found, it will feel very secure. So Bella Vista is also in the Central Valley School District and pretty close to there. All these houses in this neighborhood were built in the late 90s, early 2000s. And there's a little bit wider of a price range from the $600,000 to $700,000 up to a little over $1 million in this neighborhood. I'd say a lot of these homes have a little bit more character, personality to each one. They're not all the same cookie cutter style. They have a little bit more characteristic to them, but also each block is a little bit individual. You can see when each block was developed at different times and things like that. And it's not even necessarily that as you go higher on Bella Vista that you get to more expensive properties. There's little sections higher up that were more California split style homes, and then you drive past those for another block, and then you have these McMansions and stuff at the top of the hill. So very treed, very private, very removed from everything else, but a quick drive to get to everything that you would need as well. So I really like the Bella Vista neighborhood. It's got a lot of good characteristics to it overall. So Whitetail Ridge is a very private community off of 39th in Spokane Valley, and there's two sections to it. There's the smaller section of about 13 homes that was built in about the last decade or so, and now there's an extension on that at kind of the top of the hill there where they're building about 24 brand new homes. And this is a great community. The price points are ranging from about 700 to 1.5 depending on the customizations, because this is one of the very few neighborhoods in Spokane where you can work with a community builder on customizing the house to your needs. So I know people are adding movie theaters in there, or they have their standard floor plans that they are used to using or have used in the past, but they will work with you on moving walls, widening bedrooms, anything that you want to do. They will go through multiple builder meetings with you to make sure that they're giving you a good starting point, the house design as a start, but then you can adjust it how you want and then kind of determine the price after you've really figured out how many customizations you're going to do. So this community will be 24/7 gate access, as in it'll be closed most of the time, but I was able to go in because the construction crews are still working there. So as long as the houses are still being built, I think they keep the gate open during the day just to keep the traffic moving and not a big deal. But the gate that's at the bottom of Whitetail Ridge in the older neighborhood, that one is already always closed. So I can tell that it will be a very quiet and shut off community of about 40 homes when everything's said and done. You still got a lot of the trees of the South Valley, which is awesome. And then if the backside of your home is north facing, then there's a nice view of like Mount Spokane and the mountain ranges on the north side of Spokane. Number 4 is a very common one and well known in Spokane. It's probably the largest on this list, is Legacy Ridge in Liberty Lake. So the gate's pretty much open from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m., 12 hours on, 12 hours off. And this is because this is a large community with 2 access points. So there's a lot of homes in this area, well over, from something I saw, there's 455 houses in this area, but there's so many more being built that it's probably pushing closer to the 600 range is my guess. But the cool thing about there being so many homes is that there's also a larger price range in this neighborhood. So you can buy on Valley Vista Road, which is the primary first entrance into Legacy Ridge, and those are being built by D.R. Horton right now in their Ascend community is what they're calling it. And so you could buy a brand new home in that neighborhood for as low as like $560, $570 right now. Then as you work your way into Legacy Ridge, you have some of the most elite, beautiful custom homes in all of Spokane, going all the way up to about $2.5 million. And there's actually gated communities within the gated communities, such as the Legacy Ridge Estates. So if you work your way up past the Estates fence and you're on Chief Gary Drive or Holiday Lane, I believe it's called, those houses are massive. They're beautiful. If you're looking at Google Earth, you'll notice that the lot sizes are really big because they're all on a hill and they're overlooking Liberty Lake with the golf course down below. They can see the lake, so the views are actually very awesome as well. You can see the mountain ranges into Idaho from there. And so very sought after area for some of the higher end buyers. But if you're in that $600 to $800 price range, you're still getting a lot of the cool amenities of that neighborhood. There's built-in hiking trails. There's a giant park in the middle of Legacy Ridge that I've walked through in a couple other videos. For the most part, they're building out Valley Vista Road still, and there's a little bit more to do as it winds around the mountain's edge right there. But I think they're close to being done up there. I know when you get to the top of Legacy Ridge, there is one road that kind of goes up and dead ends. And I saw last time I was up there some construction crews up that way. So they might be building on the southwest side of Legacy Ridge there in the future. But for the most part, once Valley Vista's done, there won't be a ton of construction crews right on Legacy Ridge Road itself. All right, and lastly, our only 55 plus community, but it's a very cool one and a new one, is Trutina by Greenstone. This is in North Liberty Lake, and it's very cool because there's a lot of cool amenities in the neighborhood. They have a gym, a pool, a spa. There's tons of classes going on, so the community, they're trying to make it more of a community vibe, and so instead of going to a retirement home where you can get some of that community atmosphere, but it's not a great way of living. You can still have your own house, be able to walk around, get some fresh air. It's right on the Centennial Trail as well. And so I think this is a great option for some of those people that just kind of aren't tired of taking care of a home. They want a simple home. They want something new that's actually semi-affordable, because these homes, even though being relatively brand new, they are smaller. They're usually 2-bed, 2-bath. Some are 3-bed, 2-bath, and the price range is $550 to $650 usually. So I've been encouraging of this neighborhood a lot, even for people that are 55 and are still relatively young. They don't feel like they need to go to a retirement community. I like it just because it's such a simple way of living. The houses are easy to take care of. A lot of the HOA takes care of a lot of amenities. And so if you're in that time of life where you're trying to travel and get out a lot, then this can really simplify things and be just a really solid home and location to live in. And so there is a gate at the beginning of at the start of this one. I followed a car going in there, and so the gate was open. But as Greenstone finishes up construction in North Liberty Lake, I'm sure the gate is open more often. But again, once the construction crews get out of there, the gates will probably be closed a lot more often. So that's my list of the top 5 gated communities here in Spokane Valley and Liberty Lake area. Like I said, there's a few more. And so if this is important to your search, you're wanting that security, then reach out to me. I'm Haydn Halsted, realtor here in Spokane. I want to be your real estate resource for your move here. And so you can call, text, email anytime, or use the link down below in the description to schedule a Spokane discovery call anytime that works for you. And if any of these prices didn't sound appealing to you and you're wondering when they'll come down, then watch my latest market update on the inventory issue here in Spokane.